something that I have said and believed about content creators for the longest time, and I've never heard anybody else say it, like, out loud. And I've never seen it in all of the stuff that's out there. Like, I've watched a lot of other people who are content creators and experts, and, you know, they give you tips and tricks and all of that. And none of these other people have ever mentioned this, so I was like, oh, maybe it's just in my head. Maybe it's just a belief that I've created. But the guy that I saw the other day, he's somebody that's gone viral many times, and he's helped other people to go viral many times by kind of just like studying the algorithm and like what the biggest content creators are doing. And he called it like the Candy Crush effect. And so if you've ever played Candy Crush or any type of game on your phone, you know that like the beginning levels are real easy. And as you go through those levels, they get harder, and it gets to a point where it's like, you're not going to be able to beat that level unless you pay money to do so, you know, to like get like an expansion pack or whatever. The only reason I know is because I've played Candy Crush in the past, and I used to play like these little dragon game in the past, and I did end up like, you know, doing like a $2.99 expansion thing on it at one point. I feel like ashamed to even say that, but whatever. I'm sure other people have done it. This is back in the days when I was like not allowed to work or leave the house, and I was like, I'm just gonna play a game on my phone. But the reason why he said it like that is because as a content creator, when you go onto Instagram and Facebook and all these places, YouTube, they will oftentimes 22722 on the speedometer. 27 is my confirmation number. A lot of times they will say like, oh, boost this post, or make a Facebook ad, or, you know, make a YouTube, you know, video advertising your videos, or just whatever. Every single place has that option. Even TikTok has that option where it's like, oh, I'm going to pay money and it's going to boost this post and more people are going to see it. It's going to be great. Ever since day one for myself, I've been one of those people that has done everything organically. I haven't, and it was just 227 up there. I've done everything organically, and I've never paid to boost a post. I think I did like one time on my Facebook, and I think I did one time on my Instagram, just because they gave me a free thing. They were like, we're going to give you a free one. Here's a free one. Use the free one. But again, I didn't do the let me pay 88 for this thing. And he was saying, once you do that, they know that you have money. They know that you will pay. So it's almost like you screw your algorithm up by paying to advertise or paying to boost a post, which, depending on what you're doing, I think it will matter. You know, like if you're somebody that isn't out there to grow a huge audience, if you're somebody that's out there that's like, I just need like 1 or 2 people to sign up to my amazing offer that I have, then advertising may be something you could go with and have work out in your favor. But if you're somebody that's just creating content and you're building an audience and you're creating a community and you're wanting to reach as many people as possible, I wouldn't recommend paying to advertise, because that's gonna, like, again, signal to them that you have money to do that, and your organic reach is going to become very limited. So take that as you will, you know, it's up to you to decide what you want to do with your stuff. But it was something that I was like, oh my God, I've never heard another human being be like, yes, this is exactly what this is. We're gonna go fly by this person because he's going really slow. I'm like, nah. And that other guy did it too. Oh my God, the lines are coming together, and I was like, nah, screw it. And then that guy, oh my God, I thought 2 other people did it to him. Only one other person did it to him, but yeah. Anyways, gonna get there on time. But that was the first time I've ever heard anybody else verbalize that belief of mine. I've seen all these types of people be like, oh, this is the best, you know, strategy to do for Facebook ads, and this is how you get the best return on your investment with an ad. Oh, you definitely do this, do boop, boop, boop. And also, the platforms themselves will promote it to you in a way that's like, you should definitely do this. So you've got to be careful. Like, I'm one for like, yeah, looking into like the Instagram, you know, teaching tutorials. Like, if you go make yourself a creator account or a business account on Instagram, they're gonna have videos in there that give you a leverage on some of this stuff of like knowing what's going on in here, what is the best approach to stuff for that platform. TikTok has a creator, you know, place where it's all videos that are teaching you. Instagram has one, Facebook has them. Facebook has like a really in-depth one that goes like really deep, but you've got to like search for it, you got to look for it and go in there. They even have things that you can print out for yourself to come up with like your marketing strategy and your content strategy and the branding and design and all of that, but you can find that in other ways too. AI has been something that is kind of crazy with how much you can do. The other day I saw a new AI thing that somebody created. It's like, this is the name of it. You know how everybody's got this thing where it's like, oh yeah, use this and it will make you viral rails, or use this and it will take clips out of your video and it will do this, or use this and we'll come up with like all this content for you. We'll give you blog posts, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, boop. I've used different ones that are free because I'm cheap, and the one that I saw was a paid one, but I got like a bing in my head with my little clear knowing, and I was like, let me go over to ChatGPT and put this in there and say, act as that thing that I was looking at. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it, but it was literally like, it was something that would help you to come up with your content strategy. It was something that would scan your website and give you a content strategy based off of what your website had. Obviously, if you don't have a website, that's not going to apply to you, but you could use this concept in other ways. Like you can be like, act as Munch, which is one of those places that does stuff. I don't know if it would work with that specifically because Munch gives you video clips, but in this one it worked because it was a thing that scans your website and it comes back and it says, based on your homepage, you should do this, and based on this content that's on your website, these are content strategies that you could use to promote your offers, because it knew what I was offering. It knew that I had decks, it knew that I had all of this stuff. So I said, act as that place and give me a content strategy for divineessential.com, and it did. So I saved all of the information into a Google Doc, and I will show you guys that, put it out into the universe for them to get me that name back of the place that I was using as an example. But there's other ones there, and there's so many like that you will see being advertised. If you see one that's like that's like something that's going to scan your website and give you a strategy, or if it's something that's going to give you blog title post ideas, or it's going to give you whatever. Like I used one recently and it was like, put in your website and we'll give you the best blog post ideas for your thing. And I used one and it was good. So my whole idea with that is you don't even need that. You can use ChatGPT to act as that. You just have to say that when you type into ChatGPT, act as this thing and do what that thing does. And you can be very specific with ChatGPT. You can even say like, I want a blog post that's 250 words, or I want a blog post that's from this person's perspective, or I want a blog post for this type of idea or this type of business. You can even say, give me a content strategy, act as a social media marketing expert and come up with a content strategy for somebody that is a tarot reader or a Reiki healer or whatever, and it will do that for you. So when you see these things that are coming out, all of these ideas, this is something that I've held on to from the big day one where I had no money. I always knew that if it was doable, that there was a free way to do it. That the first person that came up with it wasn't paying for that. I've just always held that in me, and I've always been able to maneuver around paying obscene amounts of money for these tools and these strategies and these things that people use. And a lot of people just will blindly pay because they have it, or they get sucked into the advertising. I see people like my dad and my mom were always, they're the ones that they watch an infomercial and they're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever, we gotta buy it. And I'm like, it's a lie. Like he does it all the time still. He got something recently, it was like a vacuum, and he's like, they were supposed to be able to like do this and that and it can't, and he's like, maybe I should troubleshoot it. I'm like, maybe you should send it back because it's just a lie. But I think that was I have that perspective on that stuff because I watched my mother get bamboozled and drain all of her money into trying to get quick rich online and stuff. And so I was like, I am not going to do that. And I refuse to do that. And I refuse to buy into all of the marketing and advertising, psychological, weird stuff that happens, because I've researched it. I understand it on the other side of it. So I'm like, it almost does not do to me what it does to others. I've had it happen. There's people out there that are really good at it. But I have like a really strong boundary between me and spending a bunch of money that I don't need to spend. So just know that there's something that people are doing. There's usually a free way that you can do it. You can also always say, like if you see something that's a paid app that you really like and you're like, oh man, I wish I could use that, ask for like the alternatives or like something that's similar to it. And a lot of websites like that will have, if you scroll down to the bottom, it will say like, compare us to this or compare us to that. And some of those may be free versions of what you're comparing to. Of course, their way of marketing that is going to be like, we're better, but you can find an alternative that is just as good, if not better, for you when you research, and don't just get blocked by paywalls and stuff. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you very much. In Renee, namaste.